that you care deeply about is hard. We know that speaking out to someone who may not have listened to your cousin, your sister, your friend is hard. We know that speaking out and expecting any form of justice from a system that was not designed with you in mind is hard. However, we also know that if you don't speak out, your wounds will not be healed. If you don't speak out, the numbers that we believe are happening in Albany, in New York State, as well as across the country, will not be recorded. If you don't speak out, the silence will cause more to be violated. October is the month of domestic violence awareness. Much of the sexual violence that occurs is between people who are in intimate partnerships. The violence that occurs often takes place with newborn children and the elderly. There is no age limit on sexual violence. Among women of color, we're talking about women of African descent, Latinas, Native Americans, Asian Pacific Islanders, and pretty much anyone else whose descendants are not from Europe. When we talk about women of color, we're talking about all women of color. My being of African descent, I'm also wearing a pair of beaded earrings that came from a sister of Native American descent as part of that heritage that most people don't see by looking at the color of my skin. Women of color are violated 10 to 20 times as often in this country as a woman of European descent. That fact needs to be heard. So the silence must stop from those who are experiencing the violence. The silence must stop from the communities where we live who say, don't rock the boat. Don't cause us any more distress. Suck it up, live with it. It didn't kill you. Pray. Just keep on stepping. That's not going to make the violence stop.
No, it's not.
The systems who are empowered and supposed to be there to protect us cannot do so if we don't let them know anything is wrong. The legislation of those in the building behind us that's created to provide safety for the citizens of the state must include all citizens. The measures that have been enacted to provide health, mental health, and shelter for those who have experienced violence must include everyone. So on this day, October 31st of 2007, we wear red to break the silence, to end the violence. The New York State Coalition Against Sexual Assault has information that is specific to women of color, women of African descent, Latinos, women of Asian Pacific Island descent. So if you're not sure about where to go, what to do, and what information is available, please check out the New York State Coalition Against Domestic Violence website, or our own, and any of our other sister organizations. At this time, I'd like to invite Colleen Carey from the Albany chapter of NOW